Let me share this story with you about why it's important to use an attorney in a U.S. immigration case. So in 2021, I had a consultation with a young lady. She was very distraught. She was heartbroken, grieving. She had just lost her husband. She was a newly married woman, and he was a U.S. citizen, and he was living in the United States, and she was a non-U.S. citizen. She resided outside the country. Now, before he passed, he had filed an immigration petition for her because he wanted her to relocate to the United States, become a green card holder so that they would live, in the US together. He handled the entire process himself without an attorney or without a lawyer. So the initial petition was approved, USCIS approved it, and the case was moved to National Visa Center and then consular processing. Her visa interview at the US Embassy in her home country was approaching, and he needed to provide updated documents, tax returns, tax transcripts, W-2s or 1099s to show that his wife would not become a public charge as a green card holder once she is allowed into the United States. Again, it's to show that she's admissible and not inadmissible under the public charge rule, which is a requirement for if you're applying for a green card under the family-based category. So her birthday and their wedding anniversary were very near, and so he had gathered the documents to hand deliver these documents to her when he saw her in her home country, which was Ghana. So he packed everything together, told her, I have all the documents, I'll give them to you when I see you. Unfortunately, 3 days before his flight, he had a medical emergency. He was rushed to the ER, and tragically, he passed away 2 days after hospitalization. He died. It was very shocking to her. She was shattered. She facing the loss of her husband. And then to make matters worse, her immigrant visa interview was coming. She had no documents. This man was supposed to bring all the documents over to her when he saw her in person in Ghana. She had nothing at the time. Mother-in-law who was living with her husband at the time also said, nope, I'm not giving these documents to you, and said she was never going to allow her to enter the US. And according to my client, mother-in-law didn't want anybody benefiting from her son's estate. Other family members had also confirmed this. So people advised her, contact Poku. So when I spoke to her, she was like, she's just doomed. She doesn't know, what to do. And I reassured her. I told her, you don't need mother-in-law, despite the fact that, the general fundamental principle is that when there's the death of the petitioner, it results in the death of an immigrant visa petition or a petition. There are exceptions that apply, and in her case, she qualified for one of those exceptions. And so we filed and retrieved relevant paperwork from state agencies, and then we converted her petition from a spousal petition to a widowhood petition with the U.S. Department of State. Her case then became documentarily qualified. We obviously also applied for an exemption under the public charge rule under the widowhood petition that we were filing for her. Her case became documentarily qualified, and after 3 long years, her case is now ready for an interview this month. I can't wait to see the shock on mother-in-law's face when my client arrives in America. Sometimes I say it's, all you need is your lawyer. You sometimes don't even need the petitioner, you don't need mother-in-law, you don't need brother-in-law, you don't even need the US citizen or green card holder sometimes. Sometimes all you need is a good immigration lawyer. Moral of the story, hire an immigration lawyer for your cases. It's invaluable in the case of death. You have somebody to fall back to. I know death doesn't happen typically, but this is just one of the good reasons why it's always good to have an attorney on your case, because they have access to your documents and can step in if there's any type of problem. I hope this information is helpful to you. I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye.